Snacks. We all love them. There's something about just cuddling up at night after a really long day and just eating a bunch of yummy snacks. Everybody has their own guilty pleasures, right? Some people seem to like cereal at night. Not joking, I know a bunch of people who just make a nice big bowl of cereal and crunch down at night. Other people are classic. They go with chips or popcorn. And then you got that giant bucket of people that love their sweets. Now, don't get me wrong. I got a sweet tooth, but I'm not really a big dessert person. But when I say sweets, this can literally mean anything. But I'm a little bit all over the place right now. Let's talk about what we're doing today. Of course, it has to do with snacks. But this video is gonna be a little bit different because yeah, we'll do a little bit of cooking. We always have to. But I have worked really hard for the past month or two to secure some of the rare snacks from all around the world. Some of these things were made in really small batches by companies we know and love, only to suddenly be discontinued at some point, but somehow I've gotten my hands on one of them. Others are products that are sold throughout the world. Think really unique flavors of your favorite bag of chips, or Skittles Cookies, or really weirdly flavored Oreos, or even super interesting sodas like strawberry Fanta. Also, a few videos back, we made that amazing creme brulee video, and we got almost 7,000 comments on it because I wanted to give back to you for helping us as a channel to reach 2 million and send one of you with a +1 to a 3 Michelin star dinner. It's a special opportunity that, quite frankly, even I have only done once in my entire life. Because as we all know, there aren't even that many 3 Michelin star restaurants on the planet. Now, I've picked out the winner, and I'm gonna announce it at the end of this video. It's my hope that we can do many more giveaways like this down the road, but check that out at the end of the video to see who won. I am so excited for you. Now, enough talking, because I know you want to see the goods. So here they are. Now, before we dive in and start eating, I want to show you a couple of what we're dealing with today. Since I already mentioned it, let's start first with these Skittles cookies. Now, theoretically, this is exactly what it sounds like. It's cookies made by the company Skittles. It says they're crunchy and not chewy, and it looks like it's literally just plain old cookies with some Skittles inside. So I'm curious to try these out. Next, we have something that I am incredibly excited for, and those are a good old bag of Doritos, which frankly are one of my guilty pleasures. But these aren't just any regular Doritos. These are nacho cheesier Doritos. You can see that this is quite clearly from a different country. And like I said, that's how we get a lot of these things. These are probably constantly sold elsewhere in several countries, but I was somehow lucky enough to find a set of them. Next, we get some Cheetos Mac Cheese. Now, the idea of Cheetos making something that you actually have to cook yourself, it's pretty funny to me, especially considering you can go into any gas station or any market out there and grab a bag off the shelf and eat it like that. But I believe this is the only thing in all of our snacks that we actually have to cook today. So it looks like they're still gonna put me to work a little bit. Here, we have some Dr. Pepper cotton candy. Honestly, I'm actually a huge fan of cotton candy myself, so this one's gonna be a treat. The last thing I'm gonna call out before we begin tasting are these Sour Patch Kids that are mango flavored. I love mango, and I'm not sure why this isn't a flavor literally everywhere. Let's first start with our chips. We're gonna go through in categories. I'm gonna open this thing up here, and what it looks to be is chips and dip, clearly Doritos. I open this thing up, and there's this silver bag inside, which is actually really interesting, because I've never seen that colored packaging for Doritos. Literally, it's almost as if you took a normal Doritos bag and sucked out all the color on it, except for a few little orange triangles. This container itself is also pretty cool, I must say. If you look closely right here, you can see the word dipping. So my guess is that this has no color because you haven't yet added all that Doritos flavor to them yet. Think about it. The Cool Ranch bag is bright blue. The nacho cheese bag is bright yellow and orange. This doesn't have that flavor yet. Here's the flavor, and it's yellow. To start, I'm gonna open up my dip, which pretty much looks to be a run-of-the-mill salsa. Then, into our Doritos bag we go. First, I wanna try one of these chips plain because quite honestly, it already smells and looks like they have a ton of seasoning on them. Wow. Honestly, I can't entirely tell what the flavor is here. It's a little bit cheesy, a little bit tomato-y, but let's do what they've told us to do and give it a little dip. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, this kind of tastes like the chips and salsa you get out of a Lunchable. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I'll leave you to decide. After doing this, we found out there's a little container here for your sauce, and then it looks like you actually dump the chip bag into the container. Just a little bit of Doritos innovation. Next, we got some Lay's, and this flavor, I have to admit, looks fantastic. Yogurt v musim, yes I like it. Honestly, I'm not sure what language this is, but these chips look incredible. First, let's get a little bit of that flavor. Evidently, it looks to be some sort of yogurt flavor. Here's what I'm getting. Not yogurt, that's for sure. Honestly, to me, these feel like your pretty run-of-the-mill sour cream and onion chips. I see a little bit of parsley right on the side of the bag here. And then I see some yogurt and also what looks to be mint, which makes really no sense to me. There's no mint in here, but these are pretty good chips. I'm gonna rate them on par with a pretty solid bag of Lay's sour cream and onion chips. Our next bag here is another bag of Doritos, because really we're bouncing between Doritos and Lay's right now. This one I am incredibly excited for, because what it looks like we have here are these poppy seed Doritos. Clearly it's some mix between tomatoes and poppy seeds. And I actually kind of like this guessing game that I'm playing by tasting the chips, not really knowing what countries or languages these are. Again, we have another metallic Doritos bag, which is super interesting. And here's what I'm gonna say at first glance. The poppy seeds that you see on the back here and the poppy seeds that are on the counter here, I have to say I'm a little bit let down, but it's fine. I can tell that there's poppy seeds in the chips. I just like the look of it better when they're on the outside of them. Well, let's take a little bite. This is cool because you can actually taste the poppy seeds, like a lot. This is really interesting. What you have here is this very slight flavor of salsa. Very, very ever so slight. Tiny bit of tang, tiny bit of acid, but really you actually get a lot of that poppy seed flavor. And I'm not really sure if you can tell, but these chips are a little bit thicker, more substantive than regular Doritos you might find. That definitely changes the overall mouthfeel of these chips. Quite good. Now, what we have here is a crisp bag of Lay's potato chips, specifically sea salt and black pepper. Number one, baby. I'm gonna gently open the side of this bag because I don't wanna ruin this bag. It's actually quite beautiful and I don't know why. It was very plump and packed with plenty of air, which I liked. Now I know salt and pepper are a pretty classic flavor for chips. And if we look up close, we can definitely see they have that speckled pepper on there, but let's give it a try. Now these are really good. And what I like about these is that these are genuinely well-seasoned potato chips. This is as if a legitimate chef was given plain Lay's potato chips and told to season them perfectly with salt and pepper. You get this. I know it seems simple, but of all the chips we've tried, these are my favorite so far. Here, let me get some water, 1 second.
Yeah.
Did you see the chip? What are you doing? You're fired. What are you doing? You're fired again. Now there is going to be nothing like a crisp bag of nacho cheesier chips. You know, I feel like nacho cheesier is such a funny name. Think about all the executives sitting in this Doritos room and one of the guys is like, I got it. We're gonna call it nacho cheesier. You gotta love the sound of opening a fresh bag of chips. Take in some of that beautiful steam. I can look right now and I can tell you right now that this is disappointing, and I'll tell you why. Take a look inside that bag. All right, just take a look inside that bag. I've just opened it, you've seen me. Does that look nacho cheesier to you? Because these right here do not look nacho cheesier to me. Now, these chips right here are from Japan, and Japanese food is number one on my list. But how on earth can you be telling me that this is nacho cheesier if this clearly has less cheese than regular nacho cheese chips? What are we doing? But I'm not gonna be biased. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna eat it. No. Really what I'm looking for when I eat this chip is this nacho cheesier? And it's not nacho cheesier. It's nacho cheese. It's fantastic nacho cheese, in fact. But first of all, the Doritos are clearly made in a different way. These chips are not the same chips that we get in the US. And second of all, they are absolutely, positively not cheesier, but they're dang good. So we're almost done with the chip category here, but we do have these cucumber flavored chips, and I have to say this bag is badass. I'm not sure what sort of animal this is. I don't know if it's an owl or some sort of cat. I really don't know. So maybe some sort of mythical creature, but it is beautiful. I mean, this bag is gorgeous. It is an absolute work of art. Inside, it looks beautiful and clean, but let's pull out these cucumber flavored chips. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit this in my mouth. Nope, don't like that. These are really, really sweet. They definitely taste like cucumber, but it's like if you had cucumber and then added a bunch of sugar onto it, which they say actually tastes like watermelon, as a fun little fact. Take a slice of cucumber, put some sugar on it, take a bite out of it, it tastes like watermelon. I have to be honest, these are also doing something extraordinarily weird to my tongue. You know when you eat one of those gums, icebreakers or something that is supposed to cool down your mouth a bunch? They put that in these freaking chips. Why would they do that? That's so not what you want with a bag of chips. When you suck in air, all of a sudden your mouth and tongue is really cool. This whole experience is weird. The look of this bag, the taste of them, the...
Does it actually do that?
Yeah, well, I'm not just gonna make that up. Okay, we have our last food that I would classify as a chip. Now, I'm not sure where these are from, but they're clearly new in some sense. They're Doritos crackers. And I know none of you have seen these in the stores around you because these are pretty much impossible to find right now, at least as far as I know. First, let's open up the top, slide these bad boys out, getting that same metallic-y look that we got from the other packaging. But you know what I'm gonna note first out of anything else here is that this is extremely heavy. And the reason I say that is because of this. Anytime you have Doritos or Lay's or anything like that, usually the bag is pretty light, but they actually really pack these in. So I feel like you're kind of getting your bang for your buck here. Now, right there are our little crackers, and they're clearly seasoned with something, and they actually look quite good. They also have the Doritos logo on them, but when I smell them, they have this kind of weird, tangy flavor that I don't really love with chips typically. But let's give it a try with an open mind. Really nice crunch. They do have that artificial flavor and tang that, again, I don't love it. In fact, the best thing I can give you to describe it is if you've ever had those pizza flavored goldfish. Kind of tastes a little bit like that, and I do not like those at all. But these are actually pretty good. They have that butteriness that a Ritz cracker has, and they're actually seasoned really, really well. So you're basically just getting Doritos here, but in cracker form. Pretty cool. Now it's time. We've entered a new category, and that category is cookies. If you can't tell, I've been pretty excited to try these Skittles cookies. So I'm just gonna cut right to the chase here. We can't blame for having a couple of broken ones because I ship these from all around the world. What I'm first gonna note is the smell. It's weird. It's weird. It smells like Skittles. Now, if I take one of these cookies out, you can literally see that there are Skittles inside here. I know I've tried a lot of foods out there, but this is weird. But hey, sweet goes with sweet, and you know, let's give this a shot. No. Do you see that right there? That is a red Skittle. And I ate a cookie and it had several Skittles inside it. I mean, basically these cookies are just very, very sweet and they have Skittles in them. The Skittles are clearly a little bit different from the regular Skittles you might normally find, but again, this is weird. I'm happy I tried them. I probably won't buy them again. Next up, chocolate cream Oreos. Now we have a lot of Oreos to try today. And right off the bat, I thought I was gonna pull out the whole sleeve, but I got this little cutie. And I kinda like that, because that way you don't have to sit on the couch and feel like you have to binge eat an entire sleeve of Oreos in one sitting. Not that I've ever done that or anything. I have to say, these Oreos look really good. And to the people out there that dip Oreos in milk, I'm gonna be honest, I do not understand that in the slightest. It's like dipping your hand in water. None of the milk actually sticks to the Oreos. Why do people do that? I get dipping cookies in milk, but not Oreos. Anyway, chocolate cream Oreos, let's give these a try. I am on a roller coaster of flavors right now. Seems like I wouldn't be because this entire little cookie is all chocolate. The Oreo on the outside is the same as any regular Oreo you'd eat, but the problem is that on the inside, whatever chocolate cream they put inside there is not very good. Something about it is just super artificial. It's got some weird flavors in there and I don't love it. Let's balance those Oreos out with something a little bit different and something a little bit lighter. Now I'm guessing most of you can't read this side here, but what we got here are vanilla mousse Oreos, and they're the thin kind, which quite frankly, I kind of love. I keep forgetting there's two little things inside each one of these. Now I feel like with this little guy, I have to be kind of delicate. And they're really, really cute how many thin ones are inside here. But let's take one of the Oreos out, appreciate just how thin it is, and then eat it all in one bite. To me, these taste a little bit like cheesecake, at least once you bite it all together. And they have an extremely, extremely different flavor to your regular Oreos that you'd find at the store. Again, I mean, it really kind of is vanilla cream. I'll rate these pretty high up on the Oreos I've tried, but they're definitely in the more unique side of things. Next up, Ritz Bits S'mores version. First of all, I'll start by saying that I love that on the back, that each side has the same name, but in different languages. Either way, I've definitely never seen S'mores Ritz, so I am very curious to try how these are. Now, let's start by pouring out a few on our counter just to see what these look like. Because if the box isn't lying, we should get a nice split right down the middle. So it's time for the moment of truth. This is Let's try a few more. Okay, so they definitely didn't split it down the middle, but on this one, at least it has both. What's funny about this one right here is that whoever put these two things together, and I don't know if it was a person or a machine, this piece right here is upside down. Notice that both sides should look like the top here. For instance, take this one right here, where you can see the little dimples on both sides. But this one, that's not the case. This is the flat, ugly part that's supposed to be on the inside. Sorry to really dive in on you here, Ritz, but you know, you gotta step it up a little bit in those factories. Time to give this a little taste. Do I get s'mores? Okay, I was waiting and waiting and waiting to see if I would get that s'mores flavor, and here's what I do get. As you continue to eat this little guy, for a while you're really just tasting a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of chocolate, but at the end you get that graham cracker flavor. So that's the only thing I would say they did right with these little s'mores sandwiches. They're okay, they're not great, but I guess now that we do look a little bit closer at them, they have that almost granular sandy-like texture that you'd find in a graham cracker. So they nailed that part. Chocolate peanut butter pie Oreos. I love the creativity there. And you know I wanted to do these next? Because just like those little Ritz crackers that we just looked at, they're supposed to have a nice split down the center of that color of the two different types of frosting in there. So let's see if Oreo got it right. Let's take out our first one. You'll notice right away that it's a different colored shell, but they nailed the split down the middle. Oreo, you get huge brownie points for that. Question is, does this taste like a chocolate peanut butter pie? Immediately you're hit with that Nutter Butter-like flavor if you've ever had those before. I'm waiting for pie crust. More, I just can't not think about Nutter Butter there with maybe a little hint of chocolate. And only really at the end you start to get some of that shortbready-like flavor that you might find in a pie crust. So these are okay. The idea is there, but the execution is not fully there. I have to say I am very excited for these strawberry frosted donut Oreos. And this right here is right up my alley. Pink colored cream with glitter. They put glitter inside their food. And also note that there is a double layer stack in these ones. So these are double stuffed. Now the smell is actually pretty great. You get a little bit of that strawberry flavor and it's very, very sweet and sugary. I can already tell you right now that these are going to be extraordinarily sweet, but they actually look pretty good. So let's give it a try. Where's the glitter? I don't really like these. We got a few more Oreos, mint cream and raspberry mousse. I'm gonna give these a quick power try because we wanna get on to the next thing here. First thing I'll immediately say is that the packaging shows there will be this pinkish filling inside these Oreos, but that's really not in fact the case. It's white. Does this taste like a raspberry mousse? Whoa, wow, these are cool. Oreo, bring these to the US. If you see this video, bring that on over here. Oh, nope.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Very interesting. It's so thin.
That's not.
It is. It's like half the size of another Oreo, but that is really good.
It's missing the point.
They're so good. Just like raspberry ice cream.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, those are crazy.
Next up, we have Pop-Tarts, and I'm gonna be honest, I am not the biggest Pop-Tarts fan, but these just so happen to be some extraordinarily rare strawberry milkshake. Shake that ass. Let's open these bad boys up, and wherever these are from, they've clearly taken a long trip, so they're a little bit mangled, but they're actually still kind of intact, at least enough. I'm gonna take a little piece out. They've got this nice little strawberry milkshake filling, but let's give them a try. Yeah, actually tastes a little bit like a strawberry milkshake. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of Pop-Tarts, but these are pretty good. All right, we're almost done with cookies here, but we got M&M's cookies. And you imagine, I mean, compared to Skittles, I feel like M&M's has kind of a leg up on cookies. Now let's first say that these are different. These are chocolate-based as opposed to the vanilla ones that Skittles gave us. But it just looks way more correct to have M&M's inside a cookie instead of Skittles. And look, we got the full color spectrum across these. They smell really chocolatey, they look really interesting, they taste pretty stale. With that said though, I mean, sure, having M&M's and cookies, fine. And do I get that double chocolate flavor? Absolutely. So I'm happy. Now let's move on to the drink category of things. And I know this seems kind of crazy, but I mean, can you not tell me that it's pretty shocking we have a literal Snickers drink, i.e. a drink that is supposed to taste like a Snickers bar? That's pretty cool. So which one do you want to do first? I wish you could shout out and tell me, but unfortunately that's going to be difficult. So I'm just going to start with a Fanta. Mango Fanta. Funnily enough, Fanta used to be one of my favorite drinks, especially as a kid, but never in my life did I think I was going to taste mango Fanta. It's time to give this a little try. Cheers. It's pretty good, but the weird thing here is too much of that artificial mango flavor, which kind of bums me out a little bit if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm so spoiled right now with food and I'm so lucky to try so many amazing fresh ingredients all the time, and honestly, I can't really be fooled by fake mango. So not a huge fan of this, but I like the idea. Next, we got a strawberry and kiwi Fanta, which this can has clearly been pretty beat up and I wonder where it came from, but let's give it a little shot. Into our glass we go with that beautiful pinkish color, and then we look for that strawberry and kiwi flavor. Yeah, it's there. It's not amazing, and it's not as much strawberry kiwi flavor as I'm kind of looking for, but it's there. I'd love a little bit more of the kiwi, to be totally honest, but I'd still rate this a little notch above the mango because it's less artificial in that flavoring here. Strawberry Fanta. Crack this baby open, and into our glass with that deep cherry red color we go. Now I have to say, I am quite excited for this one. The only fault in the strawberry Fanta is they may have gone a little bit overboard with the sweetness and flavoring there. But if I had to choose any of these, this actually tastes a lot like strawberry and it is really, really good. This gets me just almost excited as those raspberry mousse Oreos. And of course, the absolute wild card here, our dragon fruit Fanta. And perhaps some mango in the back there too. I will say, the can here is really, really pretty with that pink and red, just like what you'd see on a dragon fruit. And I like that they've mimicked the actual fruit itself on the can. I'm curious to see what color this will be. And it looks like we're getting that yellow color because there's some mango in here. Now I know we got a big fat ice chunk, but that's totally fine. It'll just be extra crisp and cold. Let's give it a try. I don't really know what we're looking for here. Dragon fruit itself is kind of watery and doesn't actually have that much flavor to me. So really this flavor here is more of a dream. It's more of the idea of trying to believe that this can have this amazing mango and dragon fruit flavor in here. And honestly, it's not very good. So I'd go for the strawberry if I was gonna try one of these rare sodas so far. Our last Fanta drink that we have here is a white peach. Now, the color, very clearly artificial. I don't know how you get blue from a white peach, but I guess it's kind of a cool color. It just doesn't help me get there to believe that this is white peach. The shape of the bottle is pretty cool, and I remember seeing this shape often when visiting China. The last thing I will say is that it doesn't look that carbonated to me. There's no bubbles in here, and it just really doesn't seem like there's much carbonation. The smell, however, smells exactly like a peach. The flavor is really good, and honestly, I think having a bunch more carbonation would help this a lot. But do I get peach? Absolutely. Is it pretty artificial? Absolutely. But do I love that flavor? Do I love peach? Yeah, so this is really, really interesting. It's a good drink. Now, last but not least with our drinks, we have Snickers and we have Mars. And theoretically, these should both taste like their respective bars that you could buy in any convenience store. I actually really want to start with the Snickers. It's got one of those classic little lids that you'd find on the end of a water bottle. It says to shake it well, so let's shake it up.
Shake it up, shake it up.
Turn the camera off for a second. You remember the shake weight when it was like... Let's give the Snickers drink a try. I don't really know what to say. Nothing came out. Ah yes, classic. Snickers drink, take 2, action. Weird. Picture this. You go to the store, you buy 10 Snickers bars, you bring them home, you stick them in your blender, and you blend them up with a little bit of milk and water. That's exactly what I just tasted. I get that peanut flavor, I get that chocolate flavor, I get that nougat flavor in a Snickers bar. Everything's there, and it's a Snickers bar and a drink. That's what it is. Cool. Now, before I try this Mars here, I should mention that my friend at Rare Munchies helped me find them. Because again, these are not the easiest things in the world to find. And if you go on his or other people's websites, you'll see that pretty much everything is always sold out because these are so hard to get. And when I say these, I mean all of this stuff that we're trying today. But again, I just want to thank him for helping out because it is hard to track this many rare snacks down. Now, let's try the Mars bar. Wait, I didn't really remember what a Mars bar has in it. A Mars bar is a candy bar with nougat and toasted almonds covered with milk chocolate. So that's what we should taste here. That just tastes like chocolate milk. The Snickers team did it right, but I was about to say the Mars team didn't, but when I look on the bottom, both of these are owned by the company Mars. So somehow they nailed the Snickers drink, but the Mars drink just literally tastes like a plain old chocolate milk. Next up, we got our candies. And I wanna start out with these white chocolate M&Ms because frankly, they look very, very interesting. Let's make a little tear in the corner and dump out a few into my hand. Now at first glance, these look just like regular old M&Ms. I mean, nothing different about these, right? But let's take a bite. Just inside you have white chocolate. And that is so weird. I don't know what's so strange about that to me, but the fact that these are white chocolate is kind of crazy. Look at that, when I chop these in half, M&Ms are supposed to have chocolate inside. What is this? It's pretty cool, that's what it is. Fun little fact while we're on the topic, white chocolate is just the cocoa butter. So when you get cacao, you get the cocoa nibs and then you get cocoa butter that's pressed out of it. And all this is just cocoa butter with some sugar in there. Cool little factoid for the day. Next up, we have a sprinkles and cream Hershey's bar. I mean, that alone is insane. This is a birthday cake Hershey's bar. I will say that the second I open this thing, it just smells like a birthday cake. You can see all the sprinkles through the bar and it actually looks so cool. I like how it's divided into these kind of triangles. So I might as well cut it the way that it's asking me to cut it. Let's take out one of these little slices and give it a try. Oh, that's so cool. The sprinkles actually give texture. So again, while I don't love white chocolate, it's actually a really, really interesting Hershey's bar. Not the best thing I've ever tasted, but certainly not the worst. Next up, Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers. Now I know this may not look rare, but you've probably never seen peanut butter lovers in the store. Let's see what the middle of this thing looks like because I'm very, very curious. It looks really pretty much like nothing in there. Although if you do look more carefully, there's this layer of chocolate at the bottom. Well, I love peanut butter, so let's see if I'm satisfied. It's like a supercharged Reese's. So if you already like the peanut butter aspect of Reese's, this pretty much doubles it up. It's more powerful peanut flavor. There's more of that peanut butter chewiness overall, and it really does double down on the peanut butter. Next, we have a Mars Bar Caramel Sundae. The whole thing is kind of smashed, and quite honestly, it's gonna be difficult for me to even eat this. Let me just take a little bite out of the end. It says vanilla ice cream flavored nugget with a cooling sensation. My mouth has been, again, extremely unexpectedly blasted with menthol. So awesome. Why would you do that? Next up, we got Kit Kat Gold. Let's chop off the top and slide out a few of those Kit Kat bars. Now, I would have liked if the gold was a little bit more metallic-y type gold because that would have been pretty badass. And quite honestly, my mouth is still destroyed from the cooling Mars bar. I don't understand why you'd put that in a candy bar, that's all. But let's give this Kit Kat a try. This is just that caramelly white chocolate on the outside. And again, not a big fan of white chocolate, so I don't love it, but it's kind of cool seeing a bar that we all kind of know being turned to gold. The bar that I am most excited for today is this Kit Kat popcorn flavored bar. I mean, come on, that's pretty cool. Let me chop off one of these chunks of the Kit Kat and show you the inside here, which actually looks quite appetizing. If you look carefully, you can see that they've literally put real pieces of popcorn in the top of this Kit Kat. The real question is, will I get that popcorn flavor? That is good. Yeah, I do get the popcorn flavor. That makes me happy. It's the same milk chocolatey goodness that you get on the outside of the Kit Kat bar. But then right there, when you bite down, you get that crunchy pop that you get if you were eating a crispy piece of popcorn. And then you really do get that popcorn flavor. Good creativity, Kit Kat. I like it. Last but not least, we have a Kit Kat Caramel Crisp. Of all the bars that I got, this looks like it's in the best shape, so maybe it didn't come from all that far away. I really like the matte finishing on the packaging here because it just kind of brings everything a little bit up in quality. It feels a lot fancier. Let's listen for that snap. That was a little bit underwhelming, but it was there. Ooh, wow. 2 bangers in a row. So literally, you're getting these crunchy pieces of butterscotch in there that totally change up the texture of the Kit Kat yet again. You still have that kind of dense milk chocolate on the top and bottom, but then that middle layer is that light, fluffy Kit Kat, all spotted with these really, really crunchy and crispy pieces of hard caramel. That's really, really, really good. We have made it to that time that I've been waiting for to make this Cheetos Mac and Cheese. I got my boiling water, and before I do anything, I'm gonna salt it like the ocean. They're not gonna be telling you that on the Cheetos box, but that's what I'm here for. We gotta season our food properly still, even if we're making Cheetos Mac and Cheese. Now, I'll rip open this box, and it looks to me as if they've picked out rotini, which is a great, great, great shape. All we have in here is 1 seasoning packet, and our pasta, which I'll now pour right into this boiling water. Now I might as well follow the directions. So it looks like we're gonna cook this for about 7 minutes or so, then add a little bit of butter at the end as well as a little bit of milk. I have a feeling this is actually gonna be pretty good. It is now time to drain our pasta. And for that, we of course need a strainer. Now we are of course going to be applying some high-level cooking techniques. So as you can see, we've saved a little bit of pasta water in our pan for all that flavor. Even though we're making Cheetos Mac and Cheese, we need to be cooking smart. Now, the Cheetos box says to put in 2 tablespoons of butter, which I'll add to that pasta water to emulsify into a beautiful thickened sauce that'll be used as the base of our cheese sauce. Then I'll add in about 1/4 cup of milk, which they've also told us to add. And then of course, our neon orange Cheetos cheese, which quite honestly is a little bit scary. I mean, that is just plain wrong. The steam coming off of this literally smells exactly like Cheetos, but I'm having a tough time getting over the color. Either way, once it's in a beautifully thickened sauce and it's all emulsified, I'm gonna turn off the heat and drop in my pasta. Then I'll slowly fold this all together to evenly coat my rotini, and we've officially made it, Cheetos Mac and Cheese. Let's add a little bit to our bowl and enjoy this amazing mac and cheese that we've worked so incredibly hard to make. Tastes exactly like cheese balls, and I love cheese balls. I know I'm supposed to be some sort of chef, and I know I'm supposed to appreciate high-end food, but I sit in bed every night, I'm not kidding, and I eat cheese balls. I don't really know why, but they're my guilty pleasure, and they look just like this pasta. They're fantastic. Last but not least, we have our sweets to finish all of this on a sweet note. Right here, I got Chupa Chups bubble gum. Normally, you've probably only ever seen these little lollipops made by this company, but today we have cola lemon flavor. Now, it's a little weird that we're gonna be tasting gum, but honestly, this just looks so unique to me that I had to try it. And the idea of mixing lemon and cola is so, so interesting. That is weird, very artificial, and very tough to chew. A little stale, but horrible. Next, Mike and Ike's cotton candy. I'd heard the rumor a while back that Mike and Ike split up. I feel like everyone heard that rumor, but this makes it seem like they're back together. And of course, with cotton candy, we have our pink and we have our blue. So naturally, I'm gonna try them together. Wow, these are really good. And apparently, these are really difficult to find and only available for a limited time. At least that's what the back of the packaging says. But these do taste like cotton candy and they remind you of being at the fair. But speaking of cotton candy, I have a really interesting snack I want to try next. Dr. Pepper cotton candy. That's crazy. Let's just rip off a nice big hunk of this. Now, this certainly looks like the insulation that you'd put in your house. What are you laughing about? You're fired. What are you doing? And it just overall looks kind of weird to me, but let's give it a try. Wow, I've always been a fan of Dr. Pepper, and that is a treat. I cannot tell you how excited I am to try these Churro Cheetos. And we can only hope that these are gonna be at least a tad bit better than the Cheetos pasta we just made. But let's see what these bad boys look like. So funnily enough, when I saw this on the packaging, I was expecting them to look like this, but then you look over here and you see what they really are supposed to look like. Something that comes out of your dog. They smell like churros, but they taste like churros too. Those are cool. In fact, I'm gonna go so far as to say that I like these a heck of a lot better than regular Cheetos. I don't know who on the Cheetos team thought of this. Number 1 though, you nailed the idea. And number 2, you executed perfectly. These are fantastic. A little bit of cinnamon. It's got that fattiness that coats your mouth when you do bite into a churro. That amazing buttery flavor. Yet deep, deep down, you still have that corny flavor of a Cheeto. Next up, we have what looks to be a caramel and white chocolate Twix bar, which again, is super, super interesting. Because you break open a Twix bar thinking it's gonna be chocolate, but no, suddenly, it's white chocolate. Unless you like white chocolate, nuh-uh. Birthday cake Rice Krispie treat. I'm hopeful that this thing will be covered in sprinkles. It turns out they read my mind. This is quite literally the most regular Rice Krispie treat possible, just with a few sprinkles on top. Now, we have Haribo Milkshakes and Squidglets. Oh, wait, sorry. They explained it on the packaging. It's a soft mix of squidge. That's the explanation for what these things are. So that makes sense. And then in the back, it says, we are the Squidgy Squad. So they really do a good job kind of telling you and filling you in. Let's try it. Oh, okay. My best description of these taste just as weird as the packaging might suggest. I really don't know how to describe these, I'm sorry. It's pillowy, it's almost like marshmallowy. It's almost like a hybrid between a fruit snack and a marshmallow. Now we can only hope that these milkshakes are actually gonna taste like milkshake. Well, let's give them a try. Now these are good. They have that same consistency as the Squidglets, almost a little bit chewier. They actually really do have that creamy milkshakey flavor, which I really, really like. This is the home stretch. We are almost there, but we have Butterfinger Popcorn. Now, some of you might not be a big fan of Butterfinger, so you're probably sighing and waiting for the next thing at this point. I, on the other hand, happen to love Butterfinger. So it is my hope that this is basically if you melted a bunch of Butterfingers over some popcorn. And honestly, that's kind of what it looks like. This is actually underratedly good. And I'll be honest, if it was at my store up the road, I probably wouldn't buy it that often. But if I ever really had a sweet tooth that night, this would be one of the first things that I would grab off the shelf because it's exactly pretty much what it says. Crumbled and melted a bunch of Butterfingers over a bunch of fresh popcorn. These are our last few candies, and I figured we'd do it all in one little bunch because we're getting to the end and we've tried so many things, and quite honestly, I am getting extremely, extremely full. I've eaten so much sugar, and I've had a lot of fun trying all these things, but it's not easy trying this many things in one sitting. The thing that I do want to try, and that I will happily dive into immediately, are these Sour Patch mangoes. And I wish they made them look a little bit more like actual mangoes, but damn do they taste good. It says sour than sweet on the packaging, and you absolutely get that blast of sourness, that citric acid right as you bite into it. But then the finish is this really good mango-y, sweet, delicious lasting flavor at the end. So honestly, I love it. Here I have chocolate caramel Mentos. What I'm really excited about are these root beer float Mike and Ice, which I'm gonna finish everything off with. The thing about all these rare snacks is that so many of them have these really unique, interesting names. And for me, what's fun is trying to figure out, do they actually taste like that? Now, right off the bat with these root beer float things, I totally get the root beer. In fact, it'd be almost impossible for them to mess that up. The part I unfortunately don't get is the float. A root beer float has a bunch of root beer with a big hunk of vanilla ice cream in there. So for me, they need to put more vanilla in this to make me believe. All right, it's been so amazing tasting all of those incredible snacks. And I really mean it when I tell you that I tried extremely hard to source those things from all over the place. It was seriously difficult, and I wanted to shoot this video about a month and a half ago, but we had to wait for things to keep coming in. I just had this box in my room piled up with all these unique, amazing things, and I was protecting them because I was so excited about trying them with you. Now, as promised, I want to tell you the winner for the giveaway to the 3 Michelin starred dinner. Now, this creme brulee video was really fun to make. And like I mentioned, we got nearly 7,000 comments on this video right here. And I get it. A lot of people want to go to a 3 Michelin star meal. But for me, it was really fun hearing all of your stories. Now, like I said, we're going to pick a winner to go to a 3 Michelin starred meal, plus a guest, which is extremely exciting. So I looked through all of these comments, and one that stood out to me was from Nathan O. Nathan's dad is almost 50 years old now and had a heart operation about a year ago. Nathan, it sounds like you have an absolutely incredible father. And as you've written here, you're super interested in the food industry and food world itself. Now, I know you're in the Netherlands, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the restaurant you picked out, Liberige, but let me say this. I want you to take your dad there and send me a clip of your experience. I'm super excited for you. But for everyone else, hold up just a second. Nathan had a fantastic story, as did so many people. So I couldn't pick just one winner. And that's why I want to give away a second 3 Michelin star dinner. So as I was scrolling, I also saw a comment from Super Meow. She's always dreamt of taking her mom to 11 Madison Park in New York City. Evidently, her mom named her Madison because of Madison Avenue. And I've already reached out to Madison as well and let her know that she's won this. And she and her mom are super excited. So Madison, just like Nathan, I want you to send a clip or two and share your experience so that I can show everyone else on the channel how you guys like those meals. And I'm so excited for you. Congratulations to our not one, but 2 winners. I read all of your stories, I read all of those comments, and honestly, I was just really excited about both of these. Not to mention about many of your stories and your willingness to go try such amazing food somewhere. Now again, I want to do giveaways like this more down the road, and this one's really special to me because I feel like I'm giving away an experience that's gonna be so transformative for these people that are going. To those of you that won, congratulations. And to all of you that just watched this video, make sure you smack that subscribe button because you don't want to miss any videos or any giveaways for that matter down the road. Please also toss the video a like. That just helps so much to get these videos to keep going the way that they are. And I work so incredibly hard to get as many videos as I do out to all of you each and every week. And all I ask of your support is that you like the video. Again, all of these snacks were so much fun to try. Maybe I'll do another one with different snacks next time because I know there's more out there. I just need to find them. Till then, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.